Hey, Mike with Mike's Bags, and today I'm reviewing the Rougarou 2.0 by Nola Bags. Actually, I looked that up to how to pronounce it. I didn't really know what this was. I looked it up. The Rougarou is like a werewolf that lives in the bayou. So I'm guessing if you're from Louisiana, like Nola Bags is based in Louisiana, if you're from Louisiana, or if you spent time down there, maybe you've heard of the legend of the Rougarou. I hadn't. I didn't know what it was. Looked it up. It actually explained more of the bag than I thought. So let's go ahead and jump in and we'll break down this. One thing, this is the 2.0. I don't know. I never threw the 1.0, the first version of it. So I don't know what's different about this bag than the first one, but I can break down and explain the 2.0 to you. So let's go ahead and do that. Design-wise, I like the design. And actually, once I looked it up and figured out what a Rougarou was, the design made more sense to me now. They did have it in 4 or 5 different colorway options. I'm typically not a Carolina blue fan, but there's something about this I like. And actually, when I got it in there, I didn't realize it until I got it. But this carpet side, this is really a true hybrid. People tend to use that hybrid carpet word a lot when materials aren't hybrid. This is a true hybrid. It's actually 2 different materials kind of interwoven. And one of those materials in here has actually got that Carolina blue thread in there. It's really hard to see, but it does match this front very well. So they did a great job matching the 2 materials on there. Material-wise, we'll go ahead and dive into it. So this carpet is a very unique carpet. I haven't seen it in any other bag. I've never seen it before. First time I had seen it. I didn't know when I was ordering this. I really didn't know what I was getting. So I'd been recommended. This bag's been recommended to me quite a bit for a lot of you guys. I went and checked it out. I was expecting this to be more like that clone carpet that you get on, kind of that Viper R variant carpet. It wasn't what I got. It wasn't what I expected. But I don't mind getting different materials. I will say it's not a very soft material. And I broke these in with toss sauce. I used the nuked on them. And then I've thrown these things probably 10 or 12 hours. So I was just trying. This material is very, very thick, very stiff. I was trying to soften it up, trying to break it in. It's just, I don't think it's going to get any more broken than what it is. It's still a pretty thick, pretty scratchy material. It reminds me in the feel a lot of like the BG Viking carpet when it's brand new, how scratchy that is, or like the Killshot Sicario carpet, if you felt that, kind of how that's got a scratchy plastic material. This is what that feels like, maybe even a little more extreme than those 2 bags. But it's got a weird feel to it. I don't necessarily dislike it. It's just, it feels different because this fast side is a softer material, so it really stands out. It's a big contrast in the two materials. Now, Nola says this is a 5-speed. To me, it plays more like a 4. It really played slow. I'm gonna call it a 4-speed on this carpet material. Now, fast side, this is that familiar material. It's the Viking Pro Advantage fast side material, 7-speed material. It's a wonderful fast side. It's fast, but very controllable and pretty hole friendly. So you're looking at a 4-7 speed on the materials. Now the template, this is a medium template bag, but it's a very loose bag. There's not a lot of fill in here, which was odd because again, Nola put in the description that it was going to have a fuller hand feel to it. This does not have a fuller hand feel, right? When I get my hand feel and grab it, there's still a ton of movement, a ton of flop here. And my thumb and fingers are touchy. Like I pushed all the fill out and there's still a ton of loose bag here, right? When I think of a fuller hand feel, well, this Nympho here by Corning Graphics. I just recently reviewed that. And when I grab this and lock it in, there's no movement here. Like there's beads that filled all the material up here, and my finger and thumb are not touching it. There's still beads in between there. Like that's a fuller hand feel. It's the same. These 2 bags have the exact same template size. This is a fuller bag. This is a very loose, thin bag. The weird thing is, this bag's not floppy, right? It just doesn't have flop. Like when I hold it up, and this bag has been thrown a lot. That bag should taco over in half, and it's not. For as loose as it is, and I think it's because this slow side material is so rigid and stiff, it just doesn't lend. Like that bag should just fold over like that. That's what it should do, and it doesn't do that. This bag reminds me, as far as the template and the fill and all, of the striped dolphin, right? Has the same fast side material. It uses that Viking carpet. It has a similar amount of fill and a lot of floppiness, but that bag is really floppy. This bag feels everything like it, but it's a stiffer slow side and it just isn't as floppy. Now the fill in here is a mixed fill. I think there's got some disc with some beads in there, so you kind of got a mixed blended fill in there. The hand feel, all in all, is not that bad. I talk about the flop. I don't mind the floppiness of this in the hand feel. It's just, I wish this material was a little softer. It does give you kind of a weird contrasted feelings to it, and especially when you flip it over, it feels completely different. So all in all, it's a fine bag material wise and feel. But let's go ahead and dive into playability here on this. And for me, this is a bag that I felt like I wanted to play a dirty style game because this is so slow. I wanted to just play. I felt like I need to play a dirty style game and throw blockers up there. And this bag, you can throw up, it'll stick and stop, and you can put blockers where you want. The problem I had with it is it's not as collectible as I want it to be for a slow bag. When I went to collect, it just, because it's so loose, it just wants to accordion up. It doesn't want to push through. It wants to accordion up and go around and kind of push this out of the way and take that in. I had a hard time collecting, which meant I had to put my blocker more in the middle of the board and almost right at the hole, like a level 1 blocker, or even dripping in the hole in order to make it collectible. If I came down to a level 2, level 3 blocker, it was very difficult and almost impossible to push through and collect that back all the way up to the hole. I just had a hard time with it. The other issue I had with this bag is, and it's weird because Nola talked about this carpet being hole friendly, and that's why they used a slower fast side, because this was so hole friendly you didn't need a faster fast side to push. I disagree with that. I think they needed a faster fast side to help push that back up, but I think you need to make the back a little fuller. If this bag was a little fuller, maybe this would work. Maybe it'd be more collect, because then you could just kind of clip the corner and take it in like you would other fuller bags. I think because it's so loose, you really got to come more in the middle, and even still, it's just hard to get that bag to have enough speed to push through. A lot of times I was pushing and then I would leave my push back. It just wouldn't follow through because it didn't have enough speed, or it would push, kick off, and then I just couldn't collect this blocker. I just had a hard time with that. And the other thing is the hole friendliness of this material. I didn't find this material to be very hole friendly. And again, I've thrown this bag for a ton trying to break it in. It hasn't got any stiffer. And the problem is because it's so sturdy, softer, because it's so stiff, it doesn't drip in the hole, right? It just sticks in the hole. So as I throw it and it goes over, it's not free. It doesn't dip in and grab the hole like a hole friendly bag would. It just skips over and slides past it. It doesn't grab it. So it's not that forgiving. So if you're not right where you need to be, the bag's going to kind of slip over the hole. It's not going to grab it. And then when it does get up there, it just wants to sit. It doesn't want to slowly drip in. I very rarely had this bag drip in unless I had over half the bag in the hole, then it would go in. And even on this fast side, which is a pretty hole friendly material, I found that material not wanting to kind of drip in as well. And I think it's because this slow side is so rigid and stiff, it's not letting that fast side, again, fold over into the hole and let the beads cascade in. So I didn't find this material to be very hole friendly. I found it difficult to collect, difficult to push. So where I had the most success with this bag was throwing harder, letting deeper, and just trying to run bags in the hole and going, bag for hole with my bags. The problem is if I'm going to do that, I would rather have a faster material and rather have a more hole friendly, more forgiving material than I did with this. So all in all, I mean, I wanted to like this bag. My problem is when I come to review bags, I always think in my mind, what situation would I use this bag over any other bag? And every time I think about using this bag, I would rather pull out the Striped Dolphin, which is such a similar bag, but has a better slow side. I would rather use that, or I'd rather get like the Swag Bag Kaboom, which has this in the same fast side, but has that clone carpet. It's just a better, and it's a little fuller bag, a little easier to collect bag. So there was always another bag that I thought, well, I'd rather throw that. I never could think of a time where I wanted to use this bag. And look, I give Nola props because I think most every Nola bag, if not all Nola bags, has some sort of unique material to it. It's like what they're doing. But sometimes it's okay to use the common materials. There's a reason they're popular. It's because they're good materials. And I just think if they took this bag and put that Viking carpet material on here with everything else the way it is, I think it would be better or more playable. Or better yet, use that clone carpet material that's become so popular and put that on here and leave the looseness of this. So then it's a little bit looser, floppier version of the Swag Bags Kaboom. I think that would be a wonderful bag. But when you've got this stiff, rigid material on the slow side, it just takes away a lot of the hole friendliness. It takes away the fun of playing this bag. It takes away from the collectability. I just can't recommend this. There are people out there that will like this bag and love this bag. My recommendation is go to a blind draw, go to your local link, find somebody who has a set of Rougarous and throw them before you buy them just to try them out, because they are very different. They're going to be very niche. There'll be a few of you that will like them and love them, and I think that's who Nola is playing towards. For most people, get the Striped Dolphin, get the Swag Bags Kaboom. I think you're going to love those much better. Now, availability on this, Nola does have a website, NolaBags.com, I think it is. I'll make sure and put a link in the description just to be sure on that. And these bags are very affordable. I didn't mention they are ACL Pro Stamp for 2023 at $65 for a set, which is on the cheap end for ACL Pro Stamp bags. I think they're like $10 for shipping, so like $75 shipped to you. Very reasonable, high quality bags for that. And again, they're not bad bags. Don't get me wrong. If I went to a blind draw and you pulled these bags out and said you wanted to throw these, I wouldn't fight you. I would throw them. They're not a bad bag. I think there are better options out there than this for right around the same price. And that's why I just can't recommend the Rougarou again. But I think some of you will like it. If you have to them, you like them, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you like about them. Maybe I'm missing something here. I don't know. I thank you guys so much for support, and I thank you for watching.